I think being a part of this program is very important to companies like myself, Rife International, because there's been a lot of effort on the part of the U.S. To expand into Africa and African markets. And Rife International has made presence in Africa. But one of the challenges we find is navigating could be a challenge. And Power Africa, the CEO program, gives access to that, help navigate, and also help give you the exposure to the partners that you need in order to make an impact on the continent. I think our technology is in twofold: energy efficiency, renewable energy. First, before you really expand on energy, you have to make sure that your facilities are more efficient. So working on efficiency first, helps you to size how much resources, energy resources are needed. We address that issue, which is very important for Africa infrastructure. And then on top of that, access to power is a very big issue. So then tacking that on with renewable energy just helps solve the much larger global problem, or specifically for Africa in terms of access to power. So I think our technology from energy efficiency and renewable energy addresses the full gamut, on making sure that, access is achieved, but also managing those resources becomes a priority. That's amazing. I mean, we think that Africa is the next place, for growth globally. We have ties also into Africa, and we've seen a lot of success because adaptation is increasing. 5 years ago, it was very different. Talking to the market was a different situation, and now you see real action, real progress, real projects that have been implemented on the continent. We're doing the same currently in Ghana through solar in the CNI market. We are addressing areas like factories, houses of faith, schools, and healthcare. Some of those critical infrastructure that is needed within the continent, to grow. But our focus on Africa is because we know it's the next area of growth, and we want to focus on that. And also, I think that in achieving this global decarbonization, we have to remember that energy equity and justice is very important, and there's no better place to start that but also in Africa. I think Africa is fertile ground that can actually adapt and accelerate very quickly, but there has to be multiple areas that coordinate together. And I think a part of this program, is making sure that all those players come together, make sure they're on the same page, so that the adaptation from the Western world, is easily implemented here, but developing a solution that works for Africa, and then that could be scaled very quickly. I also serve on the Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Advisory Committee, for Secretary Romando, and one of our mandates is to make sure that we are advising the Secretary of Commerce and Department of Commerce on efforts to expand exports renewable energy-wise, through U.S. small businesses into Africa. I think this aligns perfectly with that, and I'm very happy to see that U.S. companies are here in South Africa, in Cape Town, and this program is expanding to others to see the overall net exports increase. But also the collaboration between the U.S. companies and the African companies is amazing. And I think if we keep that going, then we could totally, achieve that goal of, our global decarbonization.